An iconic brand of pickles is getting harder and harder to find on the shelves of Canadian stores and retailers. It's all because of the ongoing trade war between Canada and the United States. So if you're picky about your pickles, Bick's may not be an option for you much longer. Ian Lee, a business analyst at the Sprott School of Business, joins us now to talk more about this. Ian, we're into pickles now, too, as we talk about this ongoing trade war. Talk about what has led up to some of the products like Bick's pickles disappearing from store shelves here in Canada.
You know, Matt, this is an excellent, very simple to grasp example of why tariffs are so destructive, so awful, so mindless, so anti-Canadian, anti-American, anti-business. I mean, there's nothing good to say about tariffs. They're really that harmful. What this has done is by putting these tariffs on this company, which is, for all intents and purposes, it was formed in Canada, many, many years in Canada, sources their cucumbers from Canadian farmers. The lids are made in Canada, but the company was purchased a few years ago by an American company just across the border. And so they're exporting it into Canada. It gets caught by the Canadian government imposing retaliatory tariffs on the Americans, except that it isn't on the Americans, it's on we the people. The profit margins are terrible. So in this industry, as it always has been for grocery retailing, so what do? Take it off the shelf. And so it hurts the Canadian farmers, hurts Canadian consumers. This is a lose, lose, lose proposition.
And it really is tough because people, until they see something like this, they go to find, their favorite brand of pickle, which is a long-time Canadian company, maybe don't understand some of this background, right? And now where these businesses actually are and are now disappearing for them.
You're absolutely right. And just for the benefit of your viewers, I do not consult or have any relationship with this company other than the fact that I've been a consumer of these pickles literally for at least 30 years. They're great on hamburgers, by the way. But I'm just saying that, that's sort of a personal story, but there's millions of Canadians that consume this product. And here we are being attacked almost by our own government, imposing these tariffs. Yes, I understand it's because of Donald Trump and his capricious and irresponsible use of tariffs. So what we've done is said, okay, because Trump is doing something really bad and terrible and not very bright, not, really dumb, we're going to copy him and double down. And it causes great harm. This is going to hurt Canadian farmers. This is hurting the Canadian manufacturers that make the lids. And of course, it's denying choices to Canadian consumers like me that want to buy these pickles. And this is an example that you could be shown across many, many products, across many, many industries, across Canada. And there are no winners in this at all, except those people who are angry at Donald Trump and want to feel that they're poking Donald Trump in the eye when in fact they're hurting Canadians.
Well, I want to ask you about this then, too, Ian, before I let you go, right? We've seen Ontario Premier Doug Ford. He wants dollar-for-dollar tariffs, increase, some of these countermeasures that Canada's been putting on because Canada hasn't really adjusted that since February. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe wants us to dial these back. What would you recommend? What would you like to see with some of the impacts to avoid what's happening with some of the companies right now?
Well, and I'm completely nonpartisan, don't belong to any political party, don't donate to any political party, but I have to respectfully say that I think Premier Ford is completely wrong. And I mean, the evidence on this, there's Nobel Prizes have been awarded studying the impact of tariffs on economy. The Depression, the Great Depression, wasn't caused by tariffs, but it was certainly exacerbated very greatly by the Smoot-Hawley tariffs. And, all the research on this by econometricians, by policy people, think tanks, and so forth, shows that they're really harmful to our own businesses, to our own people. So why Premier Ford is saying, let's double down and cause even more harm and more, hurt to Canadian businesses, small, medium, large, to Canadian workers, to Canadian producers and farmers, is a mystery to me because there is no justification, not only in theory, but in the real world of practice. And this example of the pickles being removed from Canadians, and they're clearly going to stop buying those cucumbers from Canadian farmers, is an example of why Premier Ford is wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Ian Lee, business analyst at the Sprott School of Business. Thanks for your time today, Ian.
Thanks very much, Matt. Thank you.